Sorry. Uh, so Hare Krishna, we are starting with the Bhagavad-gītā 6.24 and 25. Uh, in this class, we will see the Bhagavad-gītā 6.24 and 25. Actually, this shloka is from chapter 6, which is Dhyāna-yoga, entitled as a Dhyāna-yoga. And in this section of Bhagavad-gītā, it is explained about the stages of Ashtanga yoga practice. And before this section, Krishna was telling Arjuna about the symptom of a person in Yoga Ruda stage. And in this section, the stages, how he can attain the Yoga Ruda stage. And in these two verses, 24 and 25, Krishna is explaining particularly about the method to attain Yoga Ruda stage. So, what is that? We will see through the shlokas. 6.24 Sanishayena yoktavyo yoga nirvinna chetasa sankalpa prabhavan kamam tyaktva sarvan asheshata manasaivendriya gramam viniyamya samantata. Translation by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. And the second shloka is 6.25 Shanai Shanir Uparamed Buddhaya Dhriti Grahitaya Atma Samsthan Mana Kritva Nakinchit Api Chintayet. Translation: gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. So we'll see in detail about the Bhagavad-gītā 6.24 and 25. So in the purport, Prabhupada is telling about the how one should be Yoga Ruda, how one can attain the Yoga Ruda stage. Yoga Ruda is the topmost stage, how a person can reach that stage of yoga, Dhyāna yoga. In this Ashtanga yoga Paddhati. So here it is explained, Sanishchayena yoktavyo yogo nirvanya chetasa. So a person should practice a yoga. Recently the International Yoga Day happened 21st June. So it's how how one should practice the yoga. It should be sanishchayena. So with a firm determination, everyone should practice, or one must practice yoga system without any deviation. And how that deviation can happen? Sankalpa prabhavan kaman taktva sarvana sheshata. So deviation which are born because of mental speculation and material desires. So one should give up this all material desires, and one should abandon all these material desires born out of mental speculation and control all the senses. Manasaivendriya gramam viniyamya samantata. So the full set of senses, like from all the sides, one should regulate the habits and control all the senses, and then one should follow or practice the yoga practice very firmly determined. So in this shloka, Krishna is telling Arjuna that with a firm determination, when one practice yoga, it is then only the yoga ruda stage can be attained. So this is one of the method Krishna is giving Arjuna, that how to practice the yoga. Here now Krishna is explaining about the in Bhagavad-gītā there are all the chapters are named as a yoga. In this yoga means what? Yoga means is to connect. And when like a bhakti yoga, dhyana yoga, karma yoga, and we generally nowadays yoga international yoga day means we feel that okay, we should be fit by doing yoga. That is one aspect only, but the connection with the supreme, that is actually yoga. And that that we can achieve only with a determination. Even in the physical practice of yoga system, we can understand how much effective or how much mm, determined we are. Some might start at some point, but immediately after 2 3 days we feel so tired and we uh, give it up. So not by giving up due to mental speculation, we have to abandon all the mental speculation, or we have to abandon all material desires, uh, deviation which is arrived from the material desires and mental speculation. We should abandon that, and we should practice with firm determination. Actually, in our one of the in Bhagavad-gītā also, sorry, in Updeshamrut, Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami is telling about this, that how one should practice Bhakti Yoga with a firm determination. And that practice of Bhakti Yoga with a firm determination, it is explained in Updeshamrut, verse number 3. It is given in purport also by Srila Prabhupada. We will read the purport and then we will understand. So in a translation, it is say one should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. So I hope you understand the translation by verse. Now in purport, Prabhupada is telling that the yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. One should be sure of success at the end and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of success. Success is sure for the rigid practitioner. Regarding Bhakti Yoga, Rupa Goswami says, Utsaha Nishya Dhairya Tattat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyagat Sato Vritte Shadbir Bhakti Prasiddhati. So this is third shloka in the Updeshamrut. And here Updeshamrut, sorry, Rupa Goswami is saying, one can execute the process of Bhakti Yoga successfully with full-hearted enthusiasm, perseverance, and determination. Utsahat Nishayat Dhairyat. So with a determination, with a perseverance, and with a full enthusiasm. Tattat Karma Pravartana, by following the prescribed duties in the association of devotees and by engaging completely in activities of goodness. So how one can attain that this Nishaya stage, that determined stage, it can be attained by practicing Bhakti Yoga in the association. So association is very important, and in this shloka, it is explained that when we follow the fired up association, when we have a fired up devotees association, we will we will be also like that. It is general says that we will become what we associate with a, and our personality also builds up um, of a 5 persons which we associate regularly. So with what we associate, that matters a lot in our whole life. Our personality makes ourselves with a what we associate. If we associate with the Prabhupada books, then we will be very it is then it is sure that we will be Krishna conscious, because Prabhupada books always uh, have the Krishna conscious matter. And even in devotional service, when we want to practice fired uply, like when we want to practice with a full devotion, and with a we want to progress uh, very fast, then we have to be associate with the fired up devotees like that. And in this shloka, in this purport, Prabhupada is explaining about the very nice story of a fired up sparrow. So Everyone must be knowing this story, but it's very interesting story. We'll see the details. As for determination, one should follow the example of the sparrow who lost her eggs in the waves of the ocean. A sparrow laid her eggs on the shore of the ocean, but the big ocean carried away the eggs on its waves. The sparrow became very upset and asked the ocean to return her eggs. Oh God, ocean God, please return my eggs, like that. The ocean did not answer, even consider her appeal. So the sparrow decided to dry up the ocean. Now, is it possible for a sparrow to dry up the ocean? Ocean is huge. We can't see the another end of the ocean. And sparrow, little sparrow, is thinking about the drying of the ocean. But she began that. She not what we do, we just think, okay, I will do, but we never act. But sparrow started acting with a full enthusiasm. She started acting with a dridha nishchay that yes, I will drive the ocean. She began to pick out the water in her small beak, and everyone laughed at her for her impossible determination. The news of her activity spread, and at last Garuda, the gigantic bird carrier of Lord Vishnu, heard it. He became compassionate toward his small sister bird, and so he came to see the sparrow. Garuda was very pleased by the determination of the small sparrow, and he promised to help. Thus, Garuda at once asked the ocean to return her eggs, let's, l- lest he himself take up the work of the sparrow. Means Garuda asked, "Oh, ocean god, please return the eggs of sparrow. Otherwise, he will help sparrow by drying up the ocean." The ocean was frightened at this and returned the eggs. Thus the sparrow became happy by the grace of Garuda. So what makes Garuda to attract the sparrow? Why he was helping? Why Garuda was helping little sparrow? Just by seeing the determination of sparrow, Garuda got very compassionate, and he was very pleased by the determination of the small sparrow. And by helping, Garuda did the task. But Sparrow got the work done. And this is the way that when we associate with the devotees, we get very high, we get full enthusiasm to practice devotional service. And when we have that full enthusiasm with a full nishchay, like a dridha nishchay, we practice devotional service. When we have that determination, when we act determinedly, that yes, I want to please my Supreme Lord. So this determination in following devotional service pleases the Lord more, like how Sparrow pleased Garuda by determination. So even impossible tasks becomes possible by the mercy of the Lord. And this is the mercy of the Lord which we can get in the devotional service. So how we can understand that yes, Lord is giving mercy. So mercy of the Lord is um, just recently I heard the class, and in that the Prabhuji was telling about the mercy, how we can attain the mercy of the Lord, how we can please the Lord, how we can understand yes, Lord is pleased. So in that, even the great saint in uh, like we can understand uh, from the different acharyas and their lives. Like a great saint in Maharashtra, Santa Tukaram Maharaj. So in the Tukaram Maharaj lives also many obstacles came, and he was very determined in practice of his devotional service. And by practicing, he pleased the Lord, and Lord helped him at every stage. So by these examples of acharyas, we understand that Lord will help only when we help ourselves by practicing more determinedly, and that only is given here. Uh, I was telling about the mercy. Mercy is like how we can understand that yes, Lord has we have the Lord's mercy. Mercy is like a kripa, and that kripa we get. Tukaram Maharaj used to say that I have your mercy, and therefore I can remember you in my difficult situations. So difficult situations comes to everyone's life. In this material world, we know that material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. And in this, dukkha will come, klesha will come. Only small part of sukha is there. And the big is the dukkha, klesha. So, sukha, like in Marathi, there was a poem, like sukha, like sukha is very small and dukkha is very uh, too much sadness or too much dukkha. So, dukkha abhala evde, like that in the Marathi sense. But dukkha is very, very large. But in that huge dukkha, the mercy of Lord is we can remember Supreme Lord. That is very big mercy. Otherwise, it is very difficult to remember the Supreme Lord in the difficult situation. But in the difficult situation, if we can remember the Supreme Lord, or we can remember that yes, it is happening for my purification or for my benediction, ultimately the end will be the best. Then we understand that with a determinedly we follow that, then we understand that that is the real mercy of the Lord, that we can remember. Because in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā, it is explained that sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matasmrutir jnanam apohanam cha. Lord is situated in everyone's heart, and he is only giving the remembrance and forgetfulness of whatever things. So the remembrance of Lord at the difficult situations, when we have a calamities or when we have a difficult situation, critical situations in our life, then we remember the Lord. That is the very that is the mercy of Lord. And we should understand, in devotees' life there will be so many difficulties. There will be so many critical cases will happen, because what happens, and difficult situations comes if you can observe our life when we are practicing from many years, or when we practice for some small duration also, we understand that when we practice we get so many difficulties for practice also. And we sometimes, after sometimes, like this is the nature of Kali Yuga, that if we don't gear up, we will automatically gear down. So it is a, like when we don't practice it with full enthusiasm, our gadi will go down, our vehicle will go down. So automatically the degradation is possible, like how it is a elevation principle. Like when we potential in a high energy flows from high potential to low potential. If we want to go from low potential to high potential, we should pump, like water level. Water always flow from higher potential to lower potential. When we want to go from lower potential to higher potential, we have to pump. So pump, we have to motor, we have to fix, and then like that our consciousness also automatically goes to the degradation. If we elevate it by reading, by hearing from the bona fide shastra, from the bona fide um, speakers, then we can level up, or then only we can climb up the hill. Otherwise, it is not at all possible. So the mercy, Lord gives so many difficulties in devotees' life, because in devotees' life sometimes devotees become lazy, or sometimes they, okay, our chanting is like, okay, we chant, no problem. But like we do many activities while chanting, like at home we cook something and we chant, like that. If something happens, then Lord gives some difficulties, and then we become serious. So Lord makes devotees, because devotees are more like Lord is fond of his devotees. If devotees are not there, Lord, how he can enjoy? So Lord is enjoying with the devotees, and what we practice, Lord pleases more. And when our practice becomes dull, Lord gives up difficulties so that we will practice more intensely. And in difficult times, we have to understand, or we can see everyone must have um, experience that in difficult times we become more attentive in our chanting. Actually, it should not be like that. It should be like, we should be every day, we should be more attentive, and we should think that yes, this may be the last time. We don't know when we don't know the probability when is our last time. Nowadays we can see that in localities many small people, small or young people are also getting heart attacks and all. So we don't know when our number will come. So we should chant every day that yes, this may be my last time, and I should chant very attentive. So this practice of dedication, or this practice of determination, uh, when we do the bhakti yoga, then we will get the mercy of the Lord. When then the Lord will be pleased. So similarly, the practice of yoga, especially bhakti yoga in Krishna consciousness, may appear to be very difficult job. But if anyone follows the principle with great determination, the Lord will surely help, like how the Garuda helped sparrow. For God helps those who help themselves. So we should understand that we should help ourselves by practicing more intensely with more determination. Then the acharyas and the Supreme Lord, He Himself can help us so that we can achieve the supreme goal, that is going back to Godhead and uh, serving the Supreme Lord. In the next shloka, Prabhupada is telling about the how to attain this, and Shanai Shaner Uparamed बुद्ध्या धृति गृहीतया आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा न किंचित अपि चिन्तयेत्. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence, sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. So, abandoning all other activities, we should firmly fix on the Supreme Lord. And Krishna is telling this in Bhagavad-gītā through Arjuna to all of us that we should give up all this. Like the essence of Bhagavad-gītā, it is 18.67, that is sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braj. So Krishna is telling that only me, surrender unto only me. So when we give up all this, then only we can surrender. And giving up all the other sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braj. So gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. By proper conviction and intelligence, one should gradually cease sense activities. This is called pratyahara. So, pratyahara prayasasya prajalpo niyamagramo janasangachalo shadbir bhakti. That is atyahara prayasasya. That is fourth shloka of this one, fourth shloka of Updeshamrut. But here it is called as pratyahara. What is that? By proper conviction and intelligence, one should gradually cease sense activities. That okay, we understand that there are some problem because of my senses or because of my anarthas in my heart. So this problem one should understand with the intelligence. And when one can understand this, this can be only understand by reading and hearing from the proper bona fide sources. So by proper conviction, yes, this problem is because of this cause. So we have to getting affected because of this cause. So we should work on that cause, not patching up the solution. We want a permanent solution. So by proper conviction and intelligence, one should gradually cease sense activities. We should regulate our sense activities. What In which activities our senses are getting attached, in which activities our senses are getting entangled more, we should control on those activities. And this is called pratyahara. The mind being controlled by conviction, meditation, and cessation from the senses should be situated in trance. The mind which is controlled. So we understand that our intelligence should control our mind. Otherwise, what will happen? If our intelligence is not getting strong and controlling the mind, then what will happen? Mind will automatically control the intelligence, and mind will hack the intelligence, and mind will do whatever he wants. So it should be situated in trance or samadhi. At that time, there is no longer any danger of becoming engaged in the material conception of life. In other words, although one is involved with matter, as long as the material body exists, one should not think about sense gratification. One should think of no pleasure aside from the pleasure of Supreme Self. This state is easily attained by directly practicing Krishna consciousness. So how we can practice the Krishna consciousness that is given, that we should please Supreme Lord only. And how we can control our mind by doing Krishna consciousness is, uh, like my Guru Maharaj, his Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj, he used to say that there are two dogs inside our heart. One is good dog and one is bad dog. So when uh, we hear more from which dog, that will decide how we will choose the action. So every time when a critical situation comes or we are in a confusion what to do, good dog also tells something and dog also tells some things in our life. So bad dog is barking more. Why he barks more? Because we have the tendency to hear from the we have the tendency from long day, from many years, that many lifetimes, that we are hearing from bad dog, and we are feeding the bad dog more. When we feed bad dog more, the barking of bad dog only we will get to hear, because we have not fed for so many lifetimes to good dog. Whatever good dog is telling us, we will not good dog is whispering uh, from within the heart. And we will not able to hear from the good dog because we have not practiced it, we have not fed anything. So that good dog is barking, but like that he is barking, and we are not able to hear the good dog because we have a practice of hearing bad dog. So what we should do, that we should understand with our intelligence, and intelligence with we will sharpen the intelligence only by reading Srila Prabhupada books. Only by reading Srila Prabhupada books we can sharpen our intelligence. And when we read Srila Prabhupada books and when we hear from the bona fide acharyas, from the bona fide devotees, then only we will sharpen our intelligence, and by intelligence only we can control our mind. Otherwise it is very difficult nowadays. Very in Kali Yuga, we are going in very bad pace. Like everyone is addicted to mobile. How we can control that? Not to scroll more. We can only control by intelligence. No, it is wasting my time. What is the use of wasting time? If we waste 5 minutes also, in that 5 minutes we can read two purpose of Srila Prabhupada book. So whatever Srila Prabhupada has written, so many books, he has taken so many efforts at the age of 70. We should at least be grateful for that. So in this way we can understand also, and we can control our mind. In the Kali Yuga, it is very important. Many people are very deviated and distracted. So firm focus with full determination in the association of the devotees, it is possible. Otherwise it is very difficult. So we will stop here for today. uh, Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.